This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you by BMO Harris Bank.
We're here at Neuqua Valley with boys tennis 1 singles. Brett Meyers, thank you for joining me.
Yep, pleasure.
You're going downstate again for the 3rd year out of your 4 years here at Neuqua Valley. So what are you looking forward to this weekend?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to, you look forward to the state tournament every year. It's kind of what you work up to your whole season, and especially since my senior year, it's all going to come down to one tournament, so it's kind of crazy.
Now, have you thought about, obviously you thought about it, but have you thought about what it means to be coming to an end here before you head off to college?
Yeah, it's just kind of leaving your mark here. We put so much time out on the court every day, and just to you just want to leave it all out on the court for Neuqua.
Now you're bringing quite the crew down there.
Yeah.
You, another singles and both doubles pairs. So what's the feeling like as a team as you get ready for state?
Yeah, we're all really excited. It's a lot of fun having your whole, not the whole team, but a lot of your teammates there. And especially when you have those late match days and your team comes and watches you, it's fun.
Now, the state series in tennis is a lot different than other sports. Can you just kind of talk me through what a day is, not just a tournament, but just a day is grueling enough?
Yeah, so you have to wake up obviously really early to get ready, and you warm up super early. And I think do you know what time it starts? I think it starts at like 8:30 or 9.
Something like that. Yeah.
So you start your day off early, and then a main draw you play 3 matches a day, which is tiring enough. But then you lose your first match or your second, you have to play 4 a day, which, especially in these hot conditions, it's definitely a grind out there. It gets really, really hard.
Now, I believe you got to the 6th round last year?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So getting that far, almost getting to the quarterfinals, almost getting to where you want to go, does that drive you at least initially to get back to that same position? Yeah,
definitely. You want to try to improve every single year, and I was so close last year to getting to that last day. I think I lost like a 12-10 in a 3rd set tiebreaker. So I was so close, and so especially those losses just make you want to do better and better every year. So this year I definitely want to try my best and try to get past that from last year.
Talking with your coach, she has seen the growth, obviously having you all 4 years. So how have you felt that your game has grown over these 4 years?
Yeah, I came in freshman year and I was a little kid, and freshman, you're not very strong and not very big, so you kind of play really defensive and just not very aggressive. And as the years have gone by, I think I've become more and more aggressive and a lot mentally stronger too on the court.
How much, I guess you were saying being smaller, so how much weightlifting or training other than on the court goes into your game?
Yeah, especially this year, after I committed to Marquette, my coach kind of gave me the heads up, you need to kind of step it up with the fitness. And so 2 days a week, every Tuesday, Thursday, I have an hour of fitness. So just not all weightlifting, but half weightlifting, half overall cardio stuff.
Now, you just mentioned Marquette, you're heading there in the fall. So what drew you to Marquette, going up to Milwaukee?
Yeah, especially in the beginning, that's where I didn't really want to go there, but that was definitely on my radar. And I actually had a really good tournament, one tournament last summer, and the Marquette coach actually came and watched me. It was my sister knew somebody who played from Marquette who just told the coach about me.
Okay.
So everything fell into place. And I went and visited, and I just fell in love with the school, and everything just happened for the good, and it just happened.
Yeah, it's a really nice campus.
Yeah, I love it. It's so pretty.
And being only an hour and a half away from home, your parents and your family are gonna be able to come watch you. So I'm assuming that family is pretty important to you as well.
Yeah, it's a really big. That was one of my really big reasons why I chose Marquette. My parents try to come out and watch me every weekend at these tournaments all around the state, and so having their support when I go to Marquette is just huge. So that's why really big reason why I chose Marquette.
Sure. And being that it's a Division I school, have you thought about that you're one of now 3 D1 players from the tennis program to be going on and playing in college like that?
Not really. I haven't really thought about it. I don't think it's really hit me yet that I'm like going D1 next year.
I mean, you look at Neuqua, it's got really good athletics. So I mean, to be it's one of those upper echelon, I guess, in the D1. Pretty special to think about it when you do actually think about it, right?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Now, getting ready for the state series, you didn't play in the DVC because of prom.
Yeah.
So how did you get ready for sectionals and now getting ready for state?
Yeah, I didn't play in conference. I went to prom, and so I was a little nervous going to sectionals just because like having that like every match a weekend helps you definitely prepare for sectionals. So I practiced a lot more in practice, and we played a lot more practice sets. Like I played a lot against Jared. I played a lot of extra sets against him just to kind of get ready for the sectionals.
Now, obviously, you want to be playing your best tennis here in the season. How are you feeling about where your game's at as you get ready for the state?
Yeah, I'm feeling really good about my game. I think as sectionals I played really well and had 2 pretty good wins against DJ Calentone and Anthony Wynn. So I think I've been practicing a lot and hitting the ball pretty clean, so I'm pretty excited.
Now, when you've seen Anthony before throughout the season, so when you see guys that you've played in the season or even in the years past, does it make it a little easier to kind of understand their game as well as your game and what you need to do?
Yeah, it's the more you see him, kind of like the more knowledge you have going into the match and the more comfortable you are. Because if you play somebody you don't know, it's kind of the first couple of games it's hard to really get a feel for the match, and especially getting a feel for their game. So it's when you play these kids like a couple times a season, it's a lot better.
So I guess then, in contrast, when you get ready for the state tournament, when you don't see these guys as often, how are you able to really get into your own game and then try and figure out what you need to do to beat your opponent?
Yeah, it gets hard at times, but when you get to that state tournament and you see somebody you don't really know, you just you got to go into the match just telling yourself you got to play your game and kind of just try to get into the match as much as possible and not really worry about the other guy.
Sure.
So yeah, it's all really mental.
You've been on varsity 4 years and you've had Coach Trudy all 4 years. So what has the relationship between the two of you been like?
It's we have a really strong relationship. I've been with her all 4 years, and especially this year we've become, I think, a lot closer. She usually coaches a lot of the doubles at these tournaments, but this year she's coached me at almost every single tournament, so we've become extremely close, and it's going to be really sad leaving her.
Again, only an hour and a half away, so you
yeah.
just tell her to come up and see you. What drew you to play tennis? Is this something that you just picked up, or was it something that your family got involved in, or how did you get involved in tennis?
I have an older sister who played tennis at Michigan State, and so I grew up watching her at every private lesson, every group lesson, and I just always wanted to be like her. So I loved playing just to try to be like her.
Yeah, I mean it's a sport that you need to kind of really fall in love with early, isn't it?
Yeah.
So. For someone who doesn't, like myself, really pick up a racket once in a while, what goes into the technique of how much effort to putting together a shot, a slice shot, a backhand? What kind of how much technique really goes into that kind of game?
Yeah, there's a lot of technique. There's a lot of background stuff that not a lot of people outside of tennis realize that go into it. Especially when you're a kid, you do a lot of private lessons with specific coaches to get technique down, and as a young player to develop you more into a high level player from a young age.
And Coach Trudy has mentioned before that your game has just evolved a lot more. Like you said before, being younger, you had to worry about being more defensive. But
yeah.
As a whole, is your how do you feel about your serve and your maybe your backhand? What do you maybe need to work on still, I guess?
I think especially my serve. When you get into, it works in high school tennis. I don't really go for it as much as I probably should. But when you get into those D1 schools, you really got to improve your serve and get a big serve. And so I think that's where I really need to improve.
Well, hopefully you have a big enough serve here in the state tournament to really make some noise and hopefully get to the final day, and we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully.
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.